Hello, everybody. This is Richard again.
Hello, I'm Mia.
And here we are again for the third time with our Vocab Marathon number 3. We're very happy to see you again today. And we're very happy to give you the last 4 words and terms for this term 1 and for your reading assignment. So let's take a look at the terms that we're going to look at today. All right. So today's words and phrases come from the reading article number 7. And as you can see here, we've got our first word is going to be the word investigation. And we're also going to talk about the root of that word, investigate, and another form of that word. Our second word that we're going to talk about today is the word uncover. The third phrase that we're going to talk about today is the phrase come forward. And the final one is the word intrusive. Okay, let's get started. Mia, could you go ahead and introduce our first word, investigation?
Yeah, of course, but I feel like I've come across this word many times before. Is this because I've been reading news stories in class?
Absolutely, you are correct, Mia. Yes, the word investigation is usually included in a lot of newspaper stories because newspaper reporters, that's what they do. They investigate stories. So the word investigate, we're going to find out, is very similar to what students do, like research. Students do research, but newspaper reporters and maybe police people do investigations. Okay, so let's go a little bit deeper. Could you go ahead and read the definition for us of the word investigation, Mia?
Of course. Okay, here is the definition. An official attempt to find the truth about or the cause of something such as a crime, accident, or scientific problem.
Okay, excellent. Let's take a look at the first use of the word investigation. So the word investigation is a noun. The first article that we have here comes from the Japan Times, April 2020. And we can see the headline here, an independent COVID-19 investigation is an imperative, is very important. So we see in the article, in the wake of the March 2012 Fukushima nuclear disaster, the International Atomic Energy Agency conducted a thorough investigation into the causes and consequences of the accident. So we can see here clearly that this agency made an official attempt to discover, find out the truth about what caused the accident in Fukushima. Okay, but I'd like to point out before we move on, the very opening of this article says in the wake of. Do you remember that from our second marathon, Mia?
Yes, of course.
Excellent, you're learning your English so much. All right. So let's move forward. Let's take a look at the next example. The next example comes from the VOA, the Voice of America, April 2022. Ethiopia fails to block UN funding for human rights investigation. If we look at the article, we see in the first sentence, he also stated that whether it's in Ethiopia or anywhere else in the world, human rights violations need to be investigated. So the word investigated, now we're using the verb form of it. All right. Now we've got one more form that I want to show you here. We've already looked at investigation. We've looked at investigate, but we've got one more, the adjective form, right? And this is investigative. If we look here from the UNESCO website from June 2018, we've got a definition of the word investigative journalism. And investigative journalism means the unveiling of matters that are concealed, that are kept secret by someone in a position of power or by accident. All right, now in this first sentence, we've got this word unveiling. Do you know this word?
But like wedding veil.
This is correct. You're exactly right. So a veil is like a bride when she's getting married. She kind of covers her face, right? With a veil. And we use the word unveil, that the bride lifts the veil and shows her face, right? The goal of investigative journalism is to try to uncover information that was hidden. All right. So this word unveiling is very much connected to our next word. Let's take a look. Our next word is the word uncover.
Uncover. I know un means not, so the word uncover means not cover, that is discover, right? So is this word the same meaning as unveil?
Exactly. You're exactly right. It's a total connection to what we just discussed about unveiling. Something's covered, now we show it directly so that everyone can understand it. So could you go ahead, read the definition? It's a very simple, direct definition here for us, Mia.
Yes, and the definition is to find something that has been kept secret.
Perfect. All right, so let's take a look at some examples here. Our first usage of this word comes from the Los Angeles Times from May 2019. Here we see the headline, State's suit accuses generic drug makers of fixing prices costing nantoka, right? The first sentence says, the investigation has uncovered a primary reason why the cost of healthcare, and specifically generic prescription drugs, has been so high in this country. So this investigation discovered the secret information, which was the reason why drugs were so expensive.
I see. So I have a question. What does the title state suit mean? Business suit or something?
No, I'm sorry to tell you, it does not mean that. There is no connection to the word suit or like business suit. No. There's also the word lawsuit. A suit is basically a court case, right? And that's a noun. The verb is the word sue, S-U-E. If you steal something from me, maybe I make a lawsuit against you. I take you to court.
I see.
Okay. Does that make some sense?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Let's look at another specific example. If we look over to the VOA, March 2022, we can see in the headline here, new images help scientists unlock secret of deep space mystery. That word unlock is very similar to our word uncover, right? So in the headline, they use the word unlock, but in the first sentence here, new data from a sophisticated radio telescope in South Africa is helping scientists uncover the secret of one of astronomy's newest mystery objects. So we can see unlock and uncover, very similar meaning, right? Something that was hidden before, right? It was locked behind the door. The information was up, but we unlocked it and we've opened the door and now we know the information. Okay, our next phrase here is going to be the phrase come forward.
Okay, I know both of the words come and forward, but does the phrase come forward create a special meaning?
Can you give me the context of where that phrase was used in the story that you read?
Yeah, actually, I found this phrase in the story, in news stories, as in, after the spotlight investigation, SNAP's membership swelled to more than 22,000 as victims came forward.
Okay. In the article, those 22,000 people, they came forward, they said, they announced, I am a victim, right? They offered this information to the people. Maybe this will be more clear. Could you go ahead and read the definition for us?
Yes, of course. And the definition is to make the effort required to provide information in response to a request for help.
Okay, yes, exactly there. So there's a better way to make the effort. So when I come forward, I'm not physically walking forward, right? But I'm making an effort to give you some information. Okay, so let's take a look. I think we've got one example here. We've got one example here of come forward with, and this comes from the journal AgriLand, March 2022. And here we see that the headline says, Minister must come forward with real measures on food security. So basically what we can understand here is, I think this is in Ireland, this politician, they're putting pressure on this politician that they don't have good food security in Ireland, I guess, and they're asking the politician to offer some information about how to solve the food security problem, right? He must come forward with real measures. He must offer some solutions to the food security problem.
Okay, so how about this example?
Uh-huh.
Professor Gray, in the beginning of the class, he always say, do you have any questions before we start? But not every day, but sometimes no one comes forward.
That is a very good example. That is a very good example. He asked the question, and I'll be honest, the same thing happens in my class. So the same thing happens in my class, not just Grace's class, right? That I'll ask my class, does anybody have any questions? No one comes forward. No one offers me. No one makes an attempt to ask a question. You are right. That is a good use. That is a good example of that.
Students, you should ask him, okay?
We want you to come forward, please. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. We're having too much fun here, Mia. Let's go on to our last word today. Our last word is the word intrusive.
Intrusive. Okay, today's last word is intrusive, which sounds interrupting or annoying, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. Definitely somebody being annoying is connected to this word intrusive. Intrusive is an adjective describing, right? The verb is the word intrude, right? So intrude means if I have my own personal space here, if somebody comes into my space and bothers me, right? This is my personal space. They come into my space, they're intruding. So somebody who is an intrusive person is kind of bothering me and annoying me. So those are good ideas. Those are good words, bother or annoy. But maybe to make this a little bit more clear, Mia, could you please read out that definition for the word intrusive?
Sure. Intrusive means that affecting someone's private life or interrupting them in an unwanted and annoying way.
So let's look at our examples here. Our first example of the usage of the word intrusive comes from the Guardian newspaper, July 2021. The headline says, "Intrusive and cruel, struggles in applying for UK settled status." Okay, so it looks like there's a German woman here. She wants to have a visa to live in the UK, right? And she wants to get kind of a good citizen status in the UK, but it looks like they asked her very personal questions that she felt like, oh, that's you're bothering me. Why are you asking me such personal questions, right? We read the text. It says, she became increasingly upset, saying, "Just tell the government I've been here for years and that I'm German. I was crying on the inside. It was undignified, intrusive, and cruel." We've got one more example of intrusive, and this comes from the Japan Times, March 2022. And this is a really good example. I think everyone can understand this. Pandemic surveillance. Is tracing tech here to stay? So we look at the text. While this might have helped save lives, rights advocates say intrusive solutions could already be so entrenched that personal privacy is the long-term price many people may yet pay. So since Corona, there have been a lot of new technologies. There is that app that many people have on their phone. I think it's called Cocoa app.
Yeah, Cocoa.
Cocoa app. So the Cocoa app uses a GPS and it follows you around, right? And it monitors you. This technology, maybe it helps reduce Corona, but we could say it's intrusive. They're attacking my personal privacy, right? So there we go, intrusive.
Intrusive.
All right, Mia, I think we have come to the end. We have no more words to give to explain to you good people for term number one. I had a lot of fun talking about these phrases and words with all of you, and I had fun talking with you too, Mia. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I learned so much, and I hope to see you again.
I hope to see you again too. And I hope to see all of you people again next term. I hope that you have a good summer. Thank you for paying attention, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.